Hey guys, Miss McBride is back with another video about multiplication. Oh my God, it's my third one. But it's fine because there's more than one way to do multiplication. There's groups, there's arrays, and there's repeated addition. Yes, there's repeated addition for multiplication. And there's also mental math. Just practicing. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 4 is 16. That's just practice. But today we're going to talk about repeated addition and multiplication. Let's do it. So, those same awesome words as last time, but more focusing on factor, product, repeated addition, expression, and equation. We're not going to recap what is multiplication because we'll get into that as I discuss it with you. Okay? But what I do want to do, I want to look at my little chart, my little graphic organizer. Okay? Let's get into it because we have all of these things going on and we need to understand them. Okay? So when we talk about repeated addition and multiplication, okay? So far, or hopefully, we've watched the other videos and we know that repeated addition is a part of multiplication that tells us there's a number that's being added over and over and over again. Okay? And how does that connect with multiplication? Let's look at it. Here we have an expression, an equation, a repeated addition, and an array. Let's look at repeated addition. So, and let's use our example of an equation, which is 3 times 5 equals 15. Okay? 3 times 5 equals 15. In a repeated addition form is 5 plus 5 plus 5. Repeated addition is when you write it as a multiplication equation. If I stick the equal signs in an equation, this is an expression. Okay? So let me correct that here. Now it's an equation. There we go. Don't judge me. Okay, so now we've wrote the multiplication equation as a repeated addition equation. Okay? So when we have repeated addition, there's 2 questions that you need to ask yourself, okay? Whenever your teacher says, or I say, hey guys, what's the addition problem for this array or this expression or equation? 2 questions pop into your mind. How many times is the factor, the number, being added? That's the first question, okay? The very first question is, how many times is this number, this factor, being added? Let's look. Well, how many times is 5 being added? 1, 2, 3. It's being added 3 times. So I am going to put the number 3. The second question you need to ask is, what is the factor being added? What is the number being added? Well, what number is it? It's the number 5. So I'm going to put 5 here. Once you've answered that, you've done 90% of the work because now we just have to stick it in the expression or equation depending on what has been asked. Okay, so here we're doing an equation. So now, if I wanted a multiplication equation, I would write 3 times 5, right? Because that's what I said. We're going to write it as a multiplication equation. We started at repeated addition, and we moved to multiplication. Now, you can do this in reverse as well. You can start off with a multiplication equation and move up to repeated addition. Let's look at some examples, okay? Because I know this could be a little much. Let's clean it up and just look at some repeated addition examples, okay? So here I have my whiteboard. Ooh. And now I am going to put a repeated addition expression on the board, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. I like threes. Plus 3. We're going to 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Now, we have our repeated addition expression. Now, I want to move to multiplication. So here's the instruction. Write a multiplication expression. Those are the instructions. We know what we need to do. We need to move from repeated addition all the way to multiplication expression. So what's our first question? The first question is, because that's going to give us our first factor, how many times is the factor being added? Our second question is, what is the factor, which is also the number. What is the, you know what is the name? That's better. What is the name of the factor being added? There we go. That's much better. What is the name of the factor being added? That's much better. So let's answer the question. How many times is the factor being added? Let's count. I'm going to get my trusty pen here. I like purple. I'm going to change it to blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's being added 6 times. Bingo. What is the name of the factor being added? It's a 3. The answer to the first question is our first factor, 6. I asked for a multiplication expression, so that's going to be x. And now we put the answer to our second question, which is what is the name of the factor, which is 3. Did I ask for an equation or an expression? I asked for an expression, so there's no equal signs. This is it. You are done. Fabulous. It is over. You are done. This is it. This is that. Okay? This is how you create a multiplication expression from a repeated addition problem. Now, let's do it in reverse. Oh, Miss McBride, that was so easy. But what if I'm given a multiplication expression and I have to write a repeated addition problem? I'm glad you asked, because we're going to do that next. We're going to do that next. So now, let's move backwards. I am going to give you the multiplication problem, and you're going to create the repeated addition. So here's our multiplication problem. I'll keep it simple. 2 times 4. 2 times 4. Here's the instructions. Write an addition problem for the multiplication expression. There's our instructions. Now, the first thing we know is that the first number answered that first question. So let's write our first question. What was our first question? First question is 1. How many times is the number being added? We said this was the first factor. Yeah? And our second question was, what is the name of the number being added? Which is our second factor. So now, let's answer the question. Same questions. But that's why it's important to always know the placement of the first factor and the second factor. Because if you reversed it, then the answer wouldn't be correct. Always remember first factor, first question. How many times is the number being added? Well, that's the first factor. That answer, I'm going to move this up. That answer is 2. 2. 2. How do I know it's 2? Because it's the first factor right here. Okay? So 2. So how many times is the number being added? 2. Okay. 2. 2 what? 2 like this? No. Here's the tricky part. We know the number is being added 2 times. But what number is being added 2 times? That's where the answer to the second problem comes in. Okay, what is the name of the number being added? It's 4. So now we know 4 has been added 2 times. So we take this second factor and we write it 2 times. Okay? That 4 comes here. That 4 comes here again. The amount of times the answer to number 1 is. Does that make sense, guys? So let me just do another quick example. If I gave you 3, I like threes, 3 times 4. First factor is 3. Second factor is 4. I could immediately just write 4 3 times. And that's your repeated addition expression. That's it. You could even go a step further and create an array, but that's another video. Just for now, we stop. We're good. So look at this, guys. You know how to multiply using repeated addition. Now you know how to move from multiplication expression to repeated addition and repeated addition to multiplication expression or equation. Make sure you always answer the question. Okay, I asked for an expression. Give me an expression. That's it, guys. Oh my God. You're multiplying with groups. You're multiplying with arrays. You're multiplying with repeated addition. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. Next video is, oh, can you do repeated addition with arrays? You sure can. Till next time. Later, guys. Bye.